Welcome to the Word on Woodward, presented by PointsBet, an official gaming partner of the Detroit Tigers, Detroit Red Wings, and Little Caesars Arena. I'm your host, Daniella Bruce, alongside my co-host, Art Regner, and joining us today, Tigers center fielder Derek Hill. Derek, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Yeah, we're excited to talk to you. There is so much to talk about. You're having a great year, but we have to ask you first. We know that you grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, and recently the Field of Dreams MLB game was played in Iowa as well. I have to ask you if you watched it. Do you enjoy seeing stuff like that, and does it bring back some of that childhood memory for you?
Yeah, it was awesome seeing them play out there. Obviously, the nostalgia of Field of Dreams and everything, and I mean, it was an amazing game, super entertaining, and I think it's amazing for baseball just to kind of branch out and do some things that are new, and that was really fun to watch.
You can be honest with us. I mean, aren't you kind of tired of the whole Field of Dreams thing? No, I mean, were you spoon-fed that in Iowa? I mean, was that all they talked about?
Growing up, yeah. I mean, I was definitely fed a little bit of that, but I like it, honestly. Like I said, it mixes things up, and you get away from the big stadiums, and you kind of go back to the roots.
Well, I think you'll like this. Art came up with a little idea while we were sitting here preparing for this interview and this rainy day at Comerica Park. I think you'll like this.
Yeah, I'm staring out at center field where you patrol.
All right.
And I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking the Chevrolet Fountain. And you know how you guys, when they introduce you fellas, and you run out in your individual position from the dugout. I'm thinking, when they introduce you, you should come out of even though it's not corn stalks, should come out of center field.
I love that.
Just like they do in Field of Dreams.
Oh, yeah. Start something new.
Actually, if they build a ramp, you could do the fake corn stalk.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Walk down,
I like that. I like that a lot right there.
I mean, don't you think that's a good... Daniela thought I was crazy, but I actually think that would be pretty cool.
Crazy was a strong word. We were both just sitting here, and that's what he was thinking about.
I like mixing it up. That's awesome.
Be great. Center field for your Detroit Tigers, Derek Hill, and everyone looks towards the dugout. Hey, where? Yes. And then all of a sudden you hear this.
Fake them out a little bit.
But you can really play it up with sound effects. Shh, shh. People are looking. What's that? And it would be you kind of coming through the corn stalk. It would be great, and then you just take your position.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
All right.
You're gonna have to pull some strings for me though.
I was just gonna say we're gonna have to set this up. We'll figure it out.
We'll have to do it. We'll have to make it happen.
There we go. I love it.
Well, Derek, as I mentioned, you're having a pretty good season yourself here, and your defense has really never been a question. You're great defensively. The question has more been, can you get it done in the batter's box? And as of late, you have been. What has changed, or what do you think you've improved on?
Just kind of slowing the game down a little bit. Obviously, when you get up here, you want to impress everybody right away. And I think it takes just a little bit of time to adjust and just kind of play your own game.
I know that a real good friend of mine lives in Des Moines, grew up here in Metro Detroit, loves Des Moines. I know it's a fairly cosmopolitan city for being in the middle of nowhere, and I mean that affectionately.
Absolutely.
But I do know that in the summers, and I know your father's a baseball scout and lives out in California. Did you just go to visit him, or did you go to play ball out there too?
I went to go play ball. He was like a nice little side piece, but I was definitely going out there to play baseball.
So I mean, was the level, even though Field of Dreams happened in Iowa, what was the level of competition like for you, or did you really need to go to California to hone your skills?
Definitely needed to go to California. I tell everybody the story, like the day of the draft was our first home game for my Iowa high school. So like if I stayed in Iowa, I only would have been able to play maybe 3 or 4 games, and then the draft would have happened. Out in California, I'd play a whole season, and it was just better competition and better opportunity out there. So decided to go out to the West Coast.
That's awesome. And as Art mentioned, your dad is a scout for the Los Angeles Angels. How was that, having a dad that's a scout, and you're growing up, you're trying to make it to the league? Was it helpful?
I mean, he's been all over the place, so whatever he said, like, I was definitely going to just listen to him and take his word. But at the same time, like, you have to go through your own experiences and kind of draw from that. And I think the mix and match that we had was pretty good.
Is it a lot of constructive criticism as you're growing up?
Absolutely.
I mean, so were there points though? I mean, you're growing into manhood, shall we say? And we've all been down that road with our parents where it's like, enough, okay, please.
Yeah.
Did you ever have those moments too?
I never got that with him. I mean, we were always on the same page, kind of had the same goal, and we never ever butted heads. Even in the cage, it'd be 12 o'clock at night, we'd be hitting. It doesn't matter. I mean, we just had the same common goal.
He's a busy guy, I'm sure. But now that you have solidified your spot here with the Tigers, you've been playing pretty steadily. Is he able to watch all of your games? Does he break them down for you?
Yeah, every time I call, we always have a little bit of something to go over and kind of game plan the pitcher for the next day. So it's really cool.
You know, I know that you're number 1 pick for the Tigers. I think 23rd overall, first round, 2014. The journey that you had to take to finally get here and make your major league debut, what has this journey been like for you?
It's been amazing, every step of the way. I mean, even the injuries, they just kind of let me figure out who I was deep down. And like you said, just all the perseverance has kind of set me up for the opportunity that's in front of me.
And you continue to make highlight reel catches.
Always.
Yeah, you're always, seriously. And when you come out of the cornfield, you're going to make even more.
There we go.
Highlight reel.
That'll go viral. You know.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Right? I mean, everybody in
That's
there.
what it's all about right
Kevin
there.
Costner's going to call you the next day.
There we go.
You know, and say, yeah, hey, man, that was cool.
Awesome.
Okay, but my actual question for you is when throughout your baseball journey did you realize that you had a knack for the outfield, that you were good at that?
I really didn't have a choice. My dad definitely pushed me towards that. My mom wanted me to be a shortstop, but that didn't work out because my dad's a scout and I profile as outfielder, so I was outfielder.
You play center field. I mean, AJ Hinch, and I'm paraphrasing him now, but he obviously thinks that you're one of the best center fielders he's ever seen. So I know you're the fastest guy on the team, right? I mean, like that's no question asked. All due respect to anybody else who thinks they're fast on the Tigers, but
Akil's close. Akil's close.
Do you guys race? Wait, before he finishes that question, have you raced?
No, we haven't.
Oh,
we
man.
haven't, but he's close.
Well, that's probably why it hurt when you guys ran into
that was a good
If he
one.
were to beat you, he still's not coming out of the cornfield.
No,
so you've got one up on
never
him.
that.
With all that said, though, what I'm really curious about is what makes it. Is it because you can get a jump off the ball? You have a scouting report on hitters and pitchers. You know how the guy's going to pitch. You know how to position yourself. I mean, because it's extraordinary. I mean, you're just boom, the ball's hit and you're there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of everything. I've had some great coaches coming up throughout this organization, and I got unbelievable coaches here and analytic people and everything like that. So it's an unbelievable combination that makes me be able to do the things that I do out there.
Art mentioned that AJ Hinch thinks very highly of you. Can you just talk about the relationship that you've been able to build with him this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's amazing. He's great with everybody in the clubhouse. It doesn't matter if you're the cook, the janitor, the starting pitcher. It doesn't matter. He treats everybody the same. And I think that's what everybody respects about him.
Now, I'm kind of curious, and this is a little bit of an off-the-wall question. And, I'm obsessed with Chris Fetter. I think he's a hologram, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I believe he's real. But because of the position you play and he knows his pitchers and maybe he has a book on hitters and tries to figure out, do you ever talk to him or something about positioning, or is that something that I know Ramon Santiago's big on that too, but I'm just kind of curious, do you ever have any contact with Fetter? Because I think so many of us would love to hear him utter a word.
Honestly, I do not, particularly with like positioning or anything like that, but I'm sure like in the rooms and everything back there, he's throwing his little input in and everything like that, helping out the team figure out where we're supposed to play.
Has he ever said hello to you? Have you?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy.
He does speak. He has to confirm that every time that we have one of you up there.
It's just my thing. I apologize, Chris.
Nah, he's amazing.
You're a Michigander. We love you, buddy.
So you got to witness some history along with the rest of us, and Miguel Cabrera hitting his 500th home run. What has it been like to be a part of that? And selfishly, all of us wish that it happened here at Comerica Park, but what was it like experiencing that from the dugout?
No, it was amazing. Everybody was pulling for him. I don't think I'll ever see anything like that ever again on the baseball field. So I just got to tip my hat to that guy. I mean, unbelievable career, and he's still got a lot of mileage left in that body. Has
he given you any advice, or is there like a memorable moment that you have with Miguel Cabrera?
Oh, there's a lot. I can't single one out, but like I said, guy's amazing for the clubhouse. Obviously, out on the field, he's doing a great job. So just got to tip my hat off to that guy.
A few weeks ago, an incident that could have been a lot more serious than it was. You and Akil Badu
Oh yeah.
smash each other out.
Were you
And
racing?
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
you were definitely going to beat him to that ball.
Oh, no.
EBA had to take a chop to the forearm to the chops. But my question is this. But that ball was perfectly
perfect.
placed right between
It was
you
perfect.
guys. I mean, can you go through that play again?
Yeah, I mean, it was a team effort. He tipped it into my glove, so I got to give a little props to him. But no, like you said, it was just one of those perfect kind of little tweener balls that is hit in between us. And, I mean, things happen. Communication's tough on those particular plays, but, you know,
But you're
I'm happy we're both okay.
But you call it, right? The center fielder is supposed to.
Yeah, well, center field has priority, but again, it's just that perfect ball where nobody can really call it because you're not sure if you're going to catch it. And both of us are true center fielders, so we obviously want to catch everything.
Yeah, the main thing is you both are okay, and we're glad that you're
Absolutely.
both back and playing again and back in the lineup. And just one last question from me. Again, Art's probably good for another one or two after I close this thing out. But what are your goals for the remainder of the season as we look ahead? There's only a few weeks left, really.
Just help the team win as many games as possible and close this season out. Honestly, the way that we've been playing, just keep playing, winning baseball, go out there, apply the pressure, and have fun.
I'm looking at everything, and now that you're here, you've got to be strong up the middle. Looks like this is your position. It's come maybe full circle for you at this point. I know Daniella asked you about your goals, but just how good does it feel for you to know that, hey, I'm in the big leagues, and more than likely I'm here to stay?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good feeling, but every single day you got to come and get better. Obviously, out on defense, I have a knack for that, but I show up every single day and want to work and improve on my skills every single day.
Well, Derek, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I can tell you that
I just think T-shirts of you coming out of the center field.
All right, I'm gonna get on the phone. All right, I'm gonna get on the
would be
phone
great.
right
There we go.
now and make the calls about this cornfield
I
love it, I
experience
love
for Derek Hill.
You can
Okay,
make
There we
a
go.
penny on that.
I'm
All
down for that.
he might need a percentage too. Now
That's
that-
okay. Get a little kickback.
All right. Well, as I was saying, thank you so much for taking the
Absolutely.
time
Thank
to
you for
join
having
us
me.
today. It was great. And a big thank you to PointsBet for presenting the Word on Woodward. PointsBet is an official gaming partner of the Detroit Tigers, Detroit Red Wings, and Little Caesars Arena. We'll see you next time.